back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device. All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, February the 1st, or the 1st, if you will. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. How are you on this tiring Wednesday? First day. Well, happy February. Happy February.
God, time really flies.
Yay.
Second month of the year
Did
already.
the groundhog see a shadow?
Well, that's tomorrow. It's tomorrow morning.
Oh, all right.
Tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. We'll know tomorrow morning how many more weeks of winter we have, and not that we really have had any thus far.
You have. Speak for yourself.
But
Groundhog as accurate as meteorologists.
Pretty much. Meteorology, the only profession you could actually be wrong at your job every day and keep it.
Here's the thing, though.
No, there's lots of jobs like that.
No, that's true. That's true.
House of Representatives.
Fair enough.
Supreme Court.
But anyway, I digress. What were you going to say?
What I want to know is...
What you want to know? Tell us.
Do we have groundhogs all over the country? Like, is it totally a local thing? Because we have like 3 of them here on Long Island, I think.
You can
I mean, the main one is Punxsutawney Phil, right? He's got to be 165 by now, right?
But I mean, everybody has their own, right? Like we have
Staten Island,
Oaksville, Hal,
Beaver,
Malvern, Mel.
There's a couple from Long Island that have moved out here.
Right.
Right.
I like the weather out there better.
Transplants.
You can tell by their accent.
Exactly.
Their disappointment with the bagels.
Exactly. Well, there you go. There you have it. I don't know. I think it's going to be. I think we're going to get like one snowstorm, not a ton, 8 inches, maybe 10, like the first week in March, and then that's it. I think we'll be mild through the rest of it. That's my guess. So and the snow like 2 days later will be gone.
Are we really starting with weather predictions? This is
we are
starting with.
That's what we're starting with. There you go.
This is how we're going to start a show in an effort to keep it under an hour. Weather predictions.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'll give you this one. I saw this the other day. It's kind of cute. I just want to throw it up there. I'll read it out loud for obviously those that are and I'll describe it afterwards. Well, those listening to the audio podcast. But I want your opinion first, and then I'll say what it is. So here we go. I remember this. It's a cup of ice cream with the cardboard lid you lift out with the wooden spoon. It says, "I remember the spoon's taste more than the ice cream." How do you guys feel about that?
I think someone who says that has problems.
Yeah, they had the wrong ice cream.
Yeah.
What is this?
I mean, I understand what they're saying because
cedar cheese, vanilla ice cream.
Well, because you know what, the cup was so small, right? The cup was so small that you could eat it in like 30 seconds, and then you're like sucking on the wooden spoon, right? So
that's the thing. If your mama didn't teach you not to suck on a wooden spoon, then you're gonna taste the wooden spoon.
That's why I never got those. I got the ice cream cone with the peanuts on top and a little chocolate. And you gotta be really careful pulling the top off, or else all the
you rip the whole thing comes off on the lid.
You had to let it melt just a little bit, and then
you'll be able to lift it off nicely. And there you go.
King cone. That was the
king cone.
And then no tongue depressor needed.
Exactly. And
the former, what do they call them now? The red, white, and blue popsicles.
Bomb pops,
rocket pops,
bomb pops. Now you can't call it a bomb.
I think they call them rocket pops.
The rocket pops.
Rocket pops, yeah.
Rocket pops. They were bomb pops back in the day when we were juvenile.
Maybe that frozen ice shit was horrible. That was just a scam.
Oh, you know what? I did enjoy a nice toasted almond bar every now and then.
Toasted almond bar was great, and those creamsicle things were good too.
Creamsicle, the push-ups.
I don't know.
The round ones, they pushed it up.
Sure, yeah. All the good things you push up, and they're better. Yeah,
exactly. Pete does that on his OnlyFans every Friday night. Pushes them up. All better.
Pete's push-up pop.
More than one way to eat a push-up pop.
That's right.
Very true, my friend.
See if you tune in.
Right.
Very true, my friend. Very true.
I will show you all 6 ways.
Subscription only.
There you go. There's nothing free about that.
You ever incorporate a tongue depressor?
Let's just say you'll know what wood tastes like.
I see where you went there. All right.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
folks. That's the
It's
end of
been
the
good.
show.
See you later. Enjoy.
You're the one performing, remember?
There you go. Exactly. All right, let's do just a quickie. Let's throw that up there. Here we go. Got a quick one tonight. Here we go. All right, true or false?
True.
True or false? True or false? Pete first. True or false? The Pro Bowl viewership this weekend will be higher this year because the Manning brothers are the coaches, and there's a lot of other events and funny, gadgety things going on.
False.
Harry?
False. Who gives a shit about those two?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to say that it's true. I'm going to say that
more people will be watching the Kardashians.
More people will watch. Well, no, I'm not saying it's going to be greatly widely viewed, but I'm saying it's going to be better than it was last year because the Manning brothers are involved. And
I think people are going to be just like, well, this is a complete and utter farce now, and it's dumb, and with all the changes, there's no reason to watch it. Not even the Manning brothers.
I may tune in for 20 minutes, half an hour, just to check it out, and then.
Well, what's the standard? What counts as watching the Pro Bowl?
I haven't watched the Pro Bowl since Dan Fouts played.
Like if you watch a whole, well, you're an outlier. If you watch a whole quarter, does that count as watching?
Do you think I am?
I don't think people watch it religiously, but I think some people have watched it after Dan Fouts was in it. So.
I think there are a lot of people who tuned in after Dan Fouts was in it.
Right. There were still people watching the Pro Bowl after Dan Fouts was no longer playing it. I think that's where he was going with that.
Had nothing to do with Dan Fouts.
Right. Well, the years, right. Whatever, so there you go. Well, we'll see. All right. That was our just a quickie for this evening. It was a quickie, just a quickie. Mm-hmm. So one of these days we're going to get some music to go underneath most of these, so we can have a bed for that. We got that. So let's dive right into our main quiz, not our main quiz, our intermediate quiz, if you will, one we've done more often than not. This week is top New York Giants defensive players, 1960 to 1980.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Top New York Giants defensive players, 1960 to 1980. I'm going to give you 6. 4 got to stay. 2 got to go. You got to get rid of 2. Here we go. Write these down. Here we go. Dick Lynch.
Dick.
Isn't that one of your options on your OnlyFans?
It's a Dick Lynch.
Yeah, you just reverse the words though.
Yeah.
Dick Lynch.
Dick. Part of a general choking package.
A general push-up pop package.
All right. Anyway, Andy Robustelli.
Surprisingly popular.
Robustelli.
Roby.
Andy Robustelli.
He discovered cough medicine, didn't he?
That was his cousin, Andy Robitussin.
Okay.
Right. Discovered cough medicine. Like it was out in the wild. Hey, I think that would be good for coughs. Yeah. Sam Huff. Huffy boy. Sam Huff. Rosie Greer. Brad Van Pelt.
Oh, God.
BVP.
Van Pelt.
He's a sportscaster on ESPN now, right?
That's his son.
That's his son, yeah. That's his. And John Mendenhall.
J. Mendy.
Dick Lynch, Andy Robustelli, Sam Huff, Rosie Greer, Brad Van Pelt, and John Mendenhall. Let's switch it up. Let's let Harry go first tonight.
I don't know who Dick Lynch is, so he can go fuck himself. And I think I'm going to change the rules and just keep the rest of them. So there you go.
You got to get rid of one. Who are you going to get rid of?
I don't have to do a damn thing. I mean, you can't really get rid of Huff or Greer. Van Pelt, he was kind of the early version of before the Giants had their. Was he on the 86 to 85, 86 team? No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was not. He was part of a really good. There were. You forget the Giants. Yeah. Giants actually had very good defenses in the late 70s, even though they sucked on offense.
Yeah, I remember. He played with Carson.
Played with Carson, Brian Kelly. They were.
He played with John Mendenhall.
John Mendenhall. Yeah, they were all really good. So,
all right. I know Robustelli was good, but we'll give him. We'll go Huff, Greer, Van Pelt, and Mendenhall just because there's absolutely no reason at all.
There you go. I would go with them. I would agree with you. Leave Robustelli out only because of what he did to the Giants as the GM in the 70s. So there you go. Great defensive player, not so great general manager. Pete, you?
Well, yeah, no one knows who Dick Lynch is, so he's gone. And I'll get rid of Van Pelt.
You get rid of Van Pelt?
Right. Yeah, why not?
Fair enough. So you're going Andy Robustelli, Sam Huff, Rosie Greer, and John Mendenhall.
John the Wrecking Ball Mendenhall.
There you go.
I came in like a Mendenhall.
Well, there you go. My picks, just if anybody's interested, would be the same as. I know you're not. I would leave. It would be different. Honestly, Andy Robustelli was a great player, but I'd have to. I mean, I saw Van Pelt play. I saw John Mendenhall play. I saw Rosie Greer and Sam Huff and Andy Robustelli play, but only in film. I actually saw Van Pelt and Mendenhall play. So, and you can't get rid of Sam Huff. So, there you go.
Could. I mean, you could be a rebel. Go Dick Lynch, Robustelli, Van Pelt, and Mendenhall.
There you go. Could very well do that. All right. Well, there you go. That's our quiz for the evening. I love it.
Who was Dick Lynch, by the way?
Dick Lynch was a defensive back for the Giants in the early 60s.
Dick Lynch,
yes.
State
Good,
Farm
very, very, very good defense.
State Farm agent after that, or Farmers?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Allstate. Dick Lynch, Allstate Insurance.
There you go. All right. So, all right. You want to keep rocking and rolling?
Well, let's keep going. You know, we're on fire now. We are 3 people, I think, watching.
We have a few. Actually, more than that.
All right. Yeah. More than a few, or more than 3?
More than 3. More than a few, actually. Well, a few is 3. So there's a bunch watching now. So I say we keep it going. What do you think?
All right.
Let's do the rapid fire quiz. Time for the rapid fire quiz. Let's do it. Let's throw the banner up there so we know what section this is. People tuning in can see it. It's the NFL History Rapid Fire Quiz. Here we go, folks.
NFL History, oh boy.
All right. Here we go. 4 weeks ago, RadioPete was actually making moves. He only lost by 1, 5-4. 2 weeks ago.
Going to win this one.
2 weeks ago, however, totally tanked. 7-1. That was the final on that one. He got the first question right out of the gate. Knew it like clockwork, and then that was it.
Because the answer is Joe Namath.
The answer was Chet Pennington. Joe Pennington. Chad Namath. All right. Well, we got some tonight. We got some Giants and Jets. A couple of things that are related to the teams that were in championship games this past weekend, and a couple of things about the championship games. So let's pick it up. Here we go. All right, Pete. Your first question. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Pete Carroll was only a 1 year head coach for the Jets, and he only had 6 wins. What other great NCAA head coach had less than a year as head coach and won less games for the Jets? All right. Pete Carroll was only a head coach for the Jets for 1 whole season, and he only had 6 wins in that season. Okay. What other great college football head coach? Because Pete Carroll was a college football head coach. What other great college football head coach had less than 1 season as the Jets head coach, and also won less games than that?
I'll say Ara Parseghian.
Ara Parseghian would be wrong. Harry?
I have no idea. He coached less than what year?
Coached less than a year. He got canned before the end of the season, and he won less games than Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll won how many?
6.
He was an NCAA coach. I have Gates. Adam Gates was there. I'm trying. Is this a long time ago? I guess I can't get it. I don't know. I don't know.
Is that a throwing in the towel?
Oh, I think I do know. Oh, no. Yeah, I think I know. Maybe not. I mean, it's too late anyway.
I can't think of it. I don't know. Yeah, throwing in the towel.
All right. It won't count because you already took a guess, but let's see if you knew it.
Was it Lou Holtz?
It was Lou Holtz. Very good. Lou Holtz, 1976. Coached only 13 games, canned before the last game of the season because they only played 14 then, and he only won 3 games. There you go. So,
another shining moment in Jets history.
Exactly. I'll give you a half a point for that one.
Lose 5 to 1.5.
There you go. All right. Anyway, all right, Harry, your first question. Here we go. What former New York Giants head coach became vice president of the 49ers and helped them to win 5 Super Bowls?
John McNamara.
John McNamara would be wrong. RadioPete.
The picture of
John Mackey.
All right, we're off to a blazing
I think Harry was probably partially right somewhere. I don't know.
Well, you're both right with the John Mack.
John McVay.
John McVay. His grandson is the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams.
His brother is the bass player for the Fleetwood Mac.
All right, here we go. Pete, your second question. Here we go. Ready?
Does it matter?
I guess not. Here we go.
Dick Lynch.
Dick Lynch. Hey. How many head coaches have the New York Jets had in their history?
$26.
26 would be wrong. Harry?
$23.
Ooh, so close. Nope, 22. The Jets have had 22 head coaches. And there's a caveat there. Technically, they only had 20 head coaches, but Belichick they had as a head coach listed twice because he was head coach for 6 days in 97 and 1 day in 2000. So technically 22, but 20. But either if you said either 20 or 22, that would have been right. Or 21 even because you count Belichick once. But 22 would be the actual
23 and you're fucked.
No. Exactly. 22 would be the number. All right. 22 head coaches. All right, Harry. How many head coaches have the New York Giants had in their history?
Oh, I'm going to say... They've been around longer, obviously.
Than the Jets?
Yeah, so I'm going to say...
45 years longer than the Jets, actually.
But they've also had much more longevity. Generally speaking.
Yeah. I think it's a trick question. I'm going to say 22.
Pete, you might have talked yourself out of a point there. He got it right. It's 22. They got the same amount. Yep, 22. Same amount of head coaches in 45 years longer. So there you go. All right. So Harry got that one right. All right. Back to Pete. Your third question. Here we go. Pete, who is the only Jets head coach to lead the team to the playoffs more than twice ever?
Head coach?
Who is the only Jets head coach to lead the team to the playoffs more than twice?
Weeb Eubank.
Weeb Eubank would be incorrect. Incorrect. Harry?
Is it Rex Ryan?
It is not Rex Ryan. It is not Rex Ryan. Good guess, though. Good guess, though. Yeah, Rex Ryan only led the Jets to the playoffs twice.
Probably the most playoff games there.
Oh, yeah. But only this other one. So it doesn't count. Pete, you want to take another guess?
No.
Jets fan? No? All right.
Edwards.
I will say it. How much ink are they going to save by leaving off the AN?
Really?
Yep, Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards. All right. Harry, your third question. Here we go.
Okay.
Who has the most wins as a head coach for the New York Giants? Who has the most wins as a head coach for the New York Giants?
Yeah, this is probably maybe a trick question. I don't know. It's one of the coaches from a long time ago that I don't know his name.
That's correct.
It's like Owens, or I don't know his first name though.
I'll give it to you. Steve Owen. Very good. Very good. Won 153 games. Couldn't ask for more than that. Oh, you actually got it right. Owens S. Steve Owen. There you go.
I said Owens.
I know, but you had the S on the end. I took as the first letter.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Steve Owen.
Carry the S.
And they say this game is a face.
All right.
What's the guy's name? It's got an O in it.
Well, I said Owens.
Right. Owens.
I mean,
No, if he said
name.
it starts with an O, I wouldn't have said it.
Nobody knows Steve Owens.
You could have just said Owen. You could have just said Owen. Or you could have just, if you said.
I literally thought.
If you said Edwards before, you got it right. It's Herm Edwards or whatever it said. He said, it was from 19. He was coach from 1931 to 1953. The fact that he got Owens was pretty fucking good.
I don't know how I remember these weird things.
All right, Pete, your fourth question. Here we go. Getting out of the Giants and Jets now. Here we go. In what year were the Bengals founded and joined the AFL?
The AFL.
I'll say 1963.
That would be incorrect, Harry.
$60-something. Let's go with my birth year. 68.
68 would be wrong too. Good guesses, both of them. Kind of almost right in between. 1966. They were founded 1966. All right, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
In what year did the 49ers join the NFL?
Good question. It's like 1950.
Final answer?
I mean, that sounds like maybe I'm wrong.
Sure.
1950.
1950 is correct.
It's correct?
It's correct.
That was a complete fucking guess.
1950 is correct. If I asked you what year were the 49ers founded, 1950 is not. It was 1946. They actually played for 4 seasons in the All-America Conference.
I did
was
not know
professional
that.
football, and then they joined the NFL. Then they joined the NFL in 1950. They were awarded a franchise in the NFL. So,
Where were they located then?
so they were always San Francisco. Oh, there you go. All right, back to Pete. Here we go. Pete, what Chiefs quarterback holds the record for most passing yards in a single game? What
For just the Chiefs?
What Chiefs quarterback? Well, yeah.
Okay,
What Chiefs? It wasn't a trick question. I don't really ask trick questions. So, what Chiefs quarterback holds the record for most passing yards in a single game?
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is incorrect. Harry.
Patrick Mahomes is not correct. God, who's that quarterback?
Owens.
Owens.
Steve Owens is correct.
No, Steve. I don't know. Trent Green. I have no idea.
Trent Green is incorrect. So many good quarterbacks the Chiefs have had over
Steve
the years.
Vanderberg.
Yeah, you had Len Dawson.
It wasn't Len Dawson. I don't think.
You had I don't know, a little guy named Joe Namath, Joe Montana. You had Alex Smith that played great quarterback for the Chiefs. However, that is incorrect. What should we call it? Oh, Pete, you went already, right?
Yeah.
You guessed already. So this is the reveal now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Elvis Grbac.
Oh God.
He went 39 of 53 for 504 yards on November 5th of 2000. So, yeah,
Who has the most passing yards ever in a game? Isn't that like Norm Van Brocklin or something weird like that?
Something like that, yeah.
It's pretty close to that. Isn't it just like 530 yards or something?
Yeah, it's not too far over what Elvis Grbac threw that day. Yeah. I don't think they have any running back in the game that day. They just kept throwing the ball.
I thought it was. Who was the guy in the '80s? Steve
DeBerg.
Berg? Did he play against him?
Steve Owen.
Steve Owens.
Steve Owens. There's the Owens. There you go. All right.
Steve Bergda.
Steve Bergda. All right, here we go. Grbac.
Didn't he sing that Lady in Red? Wasn't that his big?
Steve DeBerg, yeah.
Don't pay the ferryman.
Chris DeBerg.
Don't pay the ferryman.
Don't pay the ferryman. Grbac spelled Grbac. Grbac.
Yeah.
Anyway,
reeling him in.
No, I got you. All right, Harry, your fifth question. Here we go. Who was the Eagles head coach that cut Chris Carter when he left for Minnesota? And enabled Chris Carter to go to Minnesota.
Buddy Ryan.
Buddy Ryan would be correct. Ryan's daddy. Do you know why he cut him? Why he was quoted as cutting him?
He was black.
No, that's not why. He said
because he looked at him the wrong way.
When Buddy Ryan was asked why he cut Chris Carter, he said, "I had to. All he does is catch touchdowns." That was the reason he gave.
No, he is the Yogi Berra in Pete's mind, racist head coaches. I mean, if that was the case, I don't think any head coach in the history of sports would do anything. They wouldn't have a team.
This is true.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay. All right, Pete. Here's your sixth and last question of this.
All right.
Here we go. I need you to tell me the following. Here we go. What team has lost the most AFC championship games without winning any? What team has lost the most AFC Championship games without winning any? In other words, of all of the AFC teams that have made it to the championship games, who's the one that has never won one the most?
I guess I'll say the Bills.
The Bills, huh? That would be incorrect. Harry?
The most AFC Championship games
Without winning one.
without winning one.
What team has lost the most AFC Championship games without winning one? Which obviously nullifies Pete's answer there because the Bills have been to 4 Super Bowls.
Oh yeah. I think I misunderstood the question. But
No,
that's not surprising.
Raiders. It's not the Raiders. It's Colts.
Is that an answer?
Well, I don't know if they're counting their time when they were in Baltimore. No. Just going through the teams in the AFC. I got 2, and I don't know which one's right. So I'm gonna. This was a question for Pete.
This was Pete's question, not yours.
So my choice is either the Jets or the Browns. So I'm just gonna say the Jets. Although I think, yeah, Jets.
Final answer.
Yes.
Pete, I threw you a beach ball. It was the Jets.
See, I'm trying to. I know of 3 times the Jets have been to the AFC Championship game.
4.
I also know
4.
3 times. All right, so it's
4.
4. And Cleveland was 3.
They lost to Denver in 1999. They lost to Miami in 1982. They lost to the Colts and the Steelers, respectively.
Obviously, it's not the Colts. I mean, I don't know
What? What?
They've
What
lost.
what is the wording of the question?
What team has lost the most AFC Championship games without winning any? No, it's going 0 and something.
In
AFC Championship.
Oh, okay. Okay, right. Okay.
They went 0 and 4. They never won one. The Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars are tied for second in that category.
Jacksonville's been to 3 AFC Championships.
The Browns and the Jags have both been to 3 AFC Championship games and lost one. The
Where
Jags,
was I?
the
Where
first
was I?
2 years, the Jags were in the league. They went to the championship game both years.
Who was their quarterback then? Elvis Gerback?
It was Elvis Gerback.
Dick Lynch?
Is that Brunel?
Warren Moon?
It was Mark Brunell, yeah. Yeah, Mark Brunell.
Wow. I would I have no memory of those games.
And who was their head coach?
Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin, exactly. And then, of course, they went a few years ago and lost to the Patriots.
Right.
So that Super Bowl, if both teams that lost in those championship games won, that Super Bowl would have been Minnesota versus Jacksonville. That would have been interesting.
That would have been horrible.
Well, look at it this way: a team that has never won the Super Bowl before was guaranteed to win that year if that was the case.
Yeah, it's not going to happen this year.
No.
Well, I mean, it could happen, but it's not guaranteed.
Well, there's only one team out of the 4 that are left that haven't won.
No.
Anyway, okay. So there you go on that one, and then Harry, you have one more question.
No.
Here we go. Here we go, Harry. What team has the most NFC Championship game appearances?
Most appearances. I mean, I'm gonna get. 49ers. It's got to be the 49ers. 49ers.
That is correct. The San Francisco 49ers.
I'm guessing Dallas is probably second.
Dallas is second and actually has more wins than the 49ers have. But 49ers have appeared, including this past Sunday, the 49ers were in 18 NFC championships.
They will have been. They will now.
Yeah, so this past Sunday they were in their 18th.
Well, they didn't play
this past Sunday. This is February 2nd.
Oh, that's right.
They played the game on Sunday.
That's right.
So that was their 18th.
What am I thinking?
I don't know.
Refresh my memory. Who won that game? I can't seem to remember.
It was a very good game.
Dick Lynch.
Was it?
Dick Lynch won it.
I had Dallas in that game, by the way. I
Yeah.
my shirt.
I had the under, and who knows what happened.
All right. On another note, really quick, no questions. I just want to say the most NFC Championship game wins was Dallas. They've won 8. Okay, they've gone 8-6, I should say. And the highest. Either of you know the highest NFC Championship game winning percentage?
Giants.
Would be correct. 1,000%. Giants have won every NFC Championship game they've been to. They're 5-0. Only team undefeated. Only team with that many wins undefeated. That many appearances undefeated.
And 4-1 in the Super Bowl.
And 4-1 in the Super Bowl. There you go. All right. There you go. That is this week's NFL history rapid fire quiz.
I don't know.
You gotta take the rapid fire out of that. That's false.
Yeah.
Fucking scratch your head quiz.
There you go. That is true, though. We should probably remove the rapid fire part of that,
Or cut it down so we can. I'd say let's make the rapid fire.
Well, it's supposed to be. You know what we should do? We should give you 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
Well, some of this stuff you got to think back.
Well, you either know it or you don't, right? If you know it, answer. If you don't, don't think about it and guess or whatever.
It's going to be 0.
Who had the most touchdown passes between October 1st and November 13th,
1967.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, Ron.
Mark Brunell.
Harry wins half to nothing.
To nothing. All right.
Because he happened to blurt out 1950, and it was right.
All right.
Elvis Gerback. Yeah.
Elvis Gerback.
No one could think of Elvis Gerback in 3.
Well, I know that was like my, when I host trivia once in a while for a buddy of mine, I actually, he throws in, when he writes the questions, he throws in what he calls the Google question, right? A question that no one's going to get unless if they absolutely know, like if they know it, like if I ask the question and within 3 seconds, a team brings the paper up, they knew it, right? If it's minutes go by and then a team brings it up, they looked it up. There's no way
Elvis Gerback is Googleable.
Probably not.
I don't think it comes up.
I don't think he.
Elvis Gerback had a couple good years.
What happens if you Google Elvis Google?
I don't know. He played next to Andy Robustelli.
What happens if you Google Elvis Google? That's interesting. Give it a try. Do it right now. See if it is.
Oh, God, no.
Elvis movies on Google Play.
Is that what you're doing?
I have to try it on a different browser. That's not Chrome.
It's not working.
I think it's skewed because it's Chrome.
Probably.
It just pulls up a bunch about stuff about Elvis Presley.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
I'll try it on DuckDuckGo later on.
Try it on DuckDuckGo now. Give it a try. I'm just curious. I really want to know. That's why I'm asking you.
I don't want to know.
All right. Well, you guys talking?
Elvis is going to come up. That's what's going to come up.
Elvis.
Probably
You know what? I'll
something
do
you
it.
could sell about Elvis.
I'll do it on Brave, and I'll put it in quotes.
Brave? What is Brave?
It's a browser.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a no tracking kind of browser.
That's what
No.
you-
Oh, there you go. That's always a good one.
Elvis Google.
Elvis Google.
In quotes. Ba-da-da-da. No, It's all about the new Elvis movie.
Well, of course, because the Elvis movie came out, so that's what's going to be at the top of the searches.
I will guarantee you, Elvis Gerback is not in the top 100 Elvis searches.
Probably not.
Probably not. He'd have to pay. He'd have to pay for that. You pay one of those companies to like boost your reputation and get your name out front in the suit.
I wonder what he's doing these days, Elvis Gerback. You never know. All right, let's move on.
No, I should just Google Elvis Gerback and see it actually pops up.
Probably Googling himself.
Elvis Gerback comes up on the medical dictionary of a indigestion-based disease. I have some Gerback.
I got it here. I got this. He
played for the Chiefs too. I mean the 49ers and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Elvis Gerback.
He's younger than us.
I guess that would make sense. Yeah, he was playing in 2000.
Yeah.
And on from there.
Played for the Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the San Francisco 49ers.
There you go. All right. Cool. Shall we mosey on to our top 10 list for the day?
He won a Super Bowl.
He did.
Yeah, let's mosey.
Who did he win the Super Bowl with?
The San Francisco 49ers.
There you go.
He was Steve Young's backup.
He was Steve Young's backup. Very good.
Very good. And he made the Pro Bowl, I think, one year. I think when he played for the Raiders, maybe, or the Ravens.
No, I think it would have been when he was on the Chiefs, actually.
Chiefs, you're right. He was.
Yeah, because he was.
Chiefs.
Yeah. So, cool. All right, top 10 list time.
All
right. We've been knocking them down. We've been going forwards and backwards. Now this week we're doing top 10 sitcoms from the 1950s. Top 10 sitcoms from the 1950s. Of course, we have 13, but top 10 sitcoms from the 1950s. So it's just a total of 10. We have 3 ties. So here we go. Kicking it off at number 10 is going to be Life of Riley. Life of Riley.
All righty then.
Life of Riley.
Never saw it.
Yeah, it had 2 incarnations. One with Jackie Gleason as Riley, and the other one with William Demarest as Riley. So yeah,
I know the phrase,
but
I know that reference a TV show, but
it's an early on show. It was like 1949 to 1952, 53, something like that. So Life of Riley. The first season was Jackie Gleason, and then after that it was William Demarest. So there you go. Also tied for number 10 is the George Burns and Gracie Allen Show. Can't do 50s TV without mentioning George and Gracie.
Or without a cigar.
Or without a cigar, exactly. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
There you go.
Well, George Allen said, he goes, people always ask me how I became a star. He goes, I walked out on stage and I said, Gracie, how's your mother? And then she would talk for 25 minutes, and that's how I became a star.
There you go. That's exactly right. There you go. So George Burns tied for number 10. George Burns and Gracie Allen Show. All right. Number 9 on its own is the Jackie Gleason Show, the variety show, the comedy show.
Nice. We're really digging through some stuff.
It's good show. Watched a lot of this. Best was when he was the barkeep. And he was wiping down the bar in the beginning of it, singing My Gal Sal, and Crazy Guggenheim would come out and sing a song. Sing a song, Craze. If you didn't watch it, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but it was good.
It wasn't good. It was stupid.
No, watch
Crazy Guggenheim. Oh, please.
There you go. So Jackie Gleason Show, number 9.
I'm with Pete.
Watch it with my father. My father loved it. I watched it. It was good. I liked it. I'm sorry. All right, moving on to number 8. Number 8 is going to be Mr. Peepers.
Mr. Peepers.
How about it, guys?
Underrated show. I forget the guy's name who played Mr. Peepers, but he was a science teacher. And, I think this show had a very early or much younger, what's his name from the Odd Couple? Who also played a teacher.
I actually just saw it too. I'm gonna see something here.
Yeah. He was the fastidious one of the Odd Couple. Whatever his name was. This is not going well. Anyway, Mr. Peepers, number 8.
Peepers.
They'll look at it. was only on for a short
period. Yeah, Robert Allen Arthur.
Tony Randall.
Tony Randall. There you go.
Starring Wally Cox.
And Tony Randall.
And Tony
Wally Cox was Mr. Peepers. That sounds about right.
Wally Cox was Mr. Peepers. Exactly.
Yeah. Was he a pedophile or
no?
He liked older women.
He went on to be in a couple other shows too. After that, he was. What other show was he on? I can't remember now. But,
Wally Cox wasn't.
Wally Cox was. Wally Cox was.
He was on Hollywood Squares, and I don't know.
What was Mr. Peepers about? I never saw it. How do you guys know about this?
He played a science teacher, who I don't know. It was kind of like physical comedy, kind of not, but it was interesting to say the least. And I think it was only on for 2 or 3 years. It was actually a show. Oh, he was the voice of Underdog. He
was the voice of Underdog. That's what he was. Wally Cox was the voice of Underdog. He was also in an episode or a couple of Lost in Space too.
And I believe he was on one of those group shows like Hollywood Squares or Laugh-In or shows.
But yeah, whatchamacallit, Wally Cox was Robinson J. Peepers, Junior City's Junior High, Jefferson City's Junior High science teacher, and Tony Randall was a history teacher. So there you go. Mr. Peepers. Number 8. All right.
I think one of the big things for that show is it had one of the first big TV weddings between him and the woman that he was
courting
for many years. And
there you go. There's room for it.
And that became a big part of the show's storyline.
There you go. All right, moving on to number 7. It's going to be Ozzy and Harriet. Ozzy and Harriet.
Ozzy Osbourne and
Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman. It's a great show.
Harriet!
I mean, enough said.
Can you imagine?
It was controversial, but popular.
It was. Ozzy was a good guy, though. He didn't realize who was next to him, but he didn't care.
Right, exactly.
Could have told him it was Nipsey Russell. He wouldn't have known the difference.
Ozzy and Harriet. Anyway, for real though, good show. Definitely, one of those, life lesson shows. Which, I mean, to be quite frank with you, most of the '50s shows,
they were kind of buttoned up.
Were kind of all like life lesson shows and stuff. Moral of the story is,
somebody was always learning something,
right? So, but there you go. Number 7, Ozzy and Harriet. Moving into number 6, we have a tie for number 6. Number 6, first one would be the Danny Thomas Show. Danny Thomas Show. And I believe his daughter Marlo was actually on the show when she was very young. And later on, she was Rachel Green's mother on Friends.
He played a stand-up, right?
And she had a little bit of a career in between.
She had a little bit of a career in between, right? Exactly.
He was the first Seinfeld.
A couple.
He played a stand-up comedian, and and he had several times he had Tony Bennett on the show because they would perform together, and so to speak.
And Sammy Davis Jr.
He had a lot of famous singers would come on the show, and I
think it started as a radio show, right?
You know what? I think you're right. I seem to remember that.
He had a face for radio, that's for sure.
Danny Thomas tied for number 6. Danny Thomas Show. Also tied for number 6, Father Knows Best.
Did he really, though?
Well, then he did.
Couldn't even have a show named this anymore.
You couldn't have a show. Well, I mean, to be quite honest with you, it was, kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing, but no pun intended. But yeah, Father Knows Best. Good show. Again, moral of the story kind of show. Most of these are.
A lot of bow ties in these shows.
A lot of bow ties in a lot of these shows. Very true. Yeah. Also tied for 6, Father Knows Best. All right. Getting into the top 5 now. We only have one other tie coming up. So, and it's a 2 actually. So, all right. Number 5 is Candid Camera. Candid Camera. The first incarnation of it. There was several after. But Candid Camera. Alan
Didn't it start in like 1952 or something like that?
Started in the early 50s, yeah.
Think about that. I mean, it wasn't technically a sitcom, but it's certainly comedy based. And sure. I think maybe out of all of these that we've talked about so far, probably had the biggest impact on, especially what has happened to television in more recent years.
Sure, I would say you're right. Yeah, I mean there was a big resurgence of it in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Then they did in the early 80s. They did something on HBO that they were able to be a little more risque with. The unedited candid camera. It was another name. I forget what it was.
Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yeah, right. But I mean, you think what was that show that Ashton Kutcher did?
Punked.
Kind of the same thing, right?
It's sort of the mother of all of those.
It's the first kind of reality-ish show.
Yeah.
And the three guys that are doing it now, right? What are they doing? What's the name of their
Jackass?
Not Jackass. No, the other the one they talk to the guy through or whoever through
Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers, right? Yeah. I mean, not exactly the same thing, but
no, but I mean, you could even
results.
Say, what's the thing where they what would you do with John Quinones?
Sure. Yeah, that's another
sort of thing. It's a situation that's not real, but people think it's real, and they just film their reaction. So
right, exactly. You traced that. So yeah. So number 5.
Also, one of the best Saturday Night Live skits ever is a spoof on Alan Funt
on Alan Funt
camera.
Yeah.
With the hot fork in the cheesecake.
They
think they're gonna get a mouthful of cool, creamy cheesecake, but instead they'll be getting a mouthful of burned flesh.
Yikes!
Gotta love it. All right, number 5. Candid camera. All right. Top 4. 5 in the top 4. But number 4 would be the Donna Reed Show. The Donna Reed Show. Yeah.
Never saw it.
I think it starred Donna Reed.
It starred Donna Reed. It did.
And it was a show.
It was.
It was a show.
And
and really one of the along with another one that'll be coming up here very soon. I mean, one of the first shows to, have a woman's name and right in the title,
Mm-hmm. That's very true. And Shelley Fabre was the daughter in the show, if I recall.
It featured her as Donna Stone.
She was Donna Stone, yes. She was Donna Reed, but she was actually was an uncredited producer on the show. She actually, it was quite frankly her show, even though she was, at the time stereotypically the woman at home, wearing the dress, cleaning the house, making the dinner,
of a pediatrician,
all of that. But she was definitely it was all her. It was even for then it was all her show. But yeah, number 4, the Donna Reed Show. All right, moving to number 3, Leave It to Beaver.
Leave It to Beaver.
Leave It to Beaver.
The Beav. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this was one of the first shows to sort of treat kids as a little bit more of a realistic fashion, and they were sort of, I don't know, in some ways it was an ensemble cast, but it sort of made the kids the star of this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he was always getting into some sort of trouble.
That's true. And you had Ward, Beaver Cleaver, Ward was the June Cleaver, and Tony Dow was his brother, and
kind of painful to watch now, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
Yeah,
I never really found much funny about it.
No. Number 3. Show none of us like.
Number 3. Somehow, number 3.
I'm trying to think. I was just trying to look. What was there was some. It was. I don't. For some reason, I'm thinking it was Scrooged, but I don't think it's Scrooged. Where it was like TV related or whatever, and they were going through. It might have been just something stupid, but they were like combining shows. And next on channel whatever, it says Father Knows Beaver.
Sounds like a Chevy Chase joke.
No, but it was in a movie. I don't think it was a Chevy Chase movie. But,
Of course.
but anyway, there you go. Number 3, Leave It to Beaver. All right,
My 3 beavers.
Ward, do you know where the beaver is?
Yep, it's right where you left it.
There you go. All right.
It's over
Moving
at
on.
the Donna Reed show.
It's on a ton of reach. There you go. All right. Moving on to number 2. We got a 2-way tie for number 2. The first number 2 is Abbott and Costello. The Abbott and Costello.
Finally, a good show.
Abbott and
Yeah.
We
Costello.
just had the top 3 of the 50s. You know what they are.
I know, yeah. Top 3. Abbott and Costello, ridiculously good show. I could sit and watch it today. That's how good this show was, and it's 70 years old. And there's another one coming up that's the same way. But absolutely, Abbott and Costello. I mean, you could stop after Who's on First, and this would be number 2 as all time in the 50s for me. Anyway, I just think it's genius what they did, what Bud Abbott and Lou Costello did.
Yeah, the thing was you had the manicness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of Lou Costello and the noise and the physical humor, but you also had like smart humor, clever, jokes and things like that. So it was a little combination of both. It wasn't just hey, look at that fat guy falling on his face again.
Right.
And I really do think it's that Bert and Ernie were based on that.
Definitely were.
That's
absolutely.
All right, number 2.
Right.
What's the second number 2?
This tied for 2. Abbott and Costello also tied for 2. I Love Lucy.
Wow, Lucy came in second. Wow.
Lucy came in second. Yes, she did. Because somebody wanted to switch 1 and 4. So, but I Love Lucy. Great. I mean, let me ask you. I mean, everybody knows, at least that's listening to this or watching this, is at least heard of I Love Lucy. But hopefully, a lot of people have watched it. If you haven't, dial it up, look it up, check it out on Netflix, on Hulu, wherever you download, wherever you look and stream stuff or whatever. If not, just go on YouTube and look at episodes. But in any event, hysterical, great writing. She was a genius.
I think she's head and shoulders the best comedic actor of all time.
Yeah, she was just stupid, ridiculous, good. But let me ask you both a question. There were different incarnations of the show, and not just in New York. When they went to Europe, when they went out to California because Ricky was doing a show. Bless you, because Ricky was doing a movie. When they bought the house in upstate New York or wherever it was, and they all moved into it and everything else. While they were all great shows, and I still love the cast, and the cast was all the same, and the shows were incredible, even those were, but I still like the ones in the apartment in New York the best.
Of course, black and white.
Yeah. Well, they were all black and white, even though.
Well, true. It was afterwards the Lucy show that wasn't that in color.
That was in color, yeah, the 60s, yeah. But yeah, I think what's your take on the California episodes, the Hollywood episodes, that then when they went out there and all of them? I'm just curious. I'm just asking.
I don't remember.
You don't remember them, Pete?
No, well, I mean, I think I would hesitate to use the word sort of retread of the content, but there's only so many wacky situations you can get into, so you end up with variations on a theme, let's call it.
Right.
But that, in New York, that was all fresh and new. And
didn't they film all of it though in LA?
Yeah. I think,
and the characters, the characters were developing.
Sure.
I mean,
as the show went on.
Yeah.
In those
Vivian Vance was fantastic in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and hey, listen, you can't. Is there an actor with more emotive than William Frawley?
William Frawley was just.
There is. I don't know.
I mean, just you look at him and you see vaudeville.
I don't know how he got Ethel. Ethel was a little hot for him.
I don't know.
They say things, but Who knows?
It's almost like there's a
big
history of very average or below average looking men with hotter wives in television.
Fair enough.
Very true. Yeah. It's almost like the shows were made by middle-aged balding men.
Middle-aged balding. That's
projecting their fantasies onto the screen.
I do remember as a kid, every once in a while thinking to myself and not being able to articulate it, but sort of thinking, Ricky's kind of a dick.
Well, he was
just my take as a kid.
He was a man in the 50s.
Just my take as a kid.
He was a man, man in the 50s, and
all men on TV were dicks back then.
I mean,
he was a little extra dicky.
I guess
he was a foreigner too. So
no, that had nothing to do with it, there, buddy Ryan.
I think the message there is that foreigners are not as good as USers.
I don't know about that, but
I don't think that had anything to do with it. I never thought of him as foreign.
I really didn't. I just thought of him speaking with broken English. What was his song? What was his big song?
Babaloo.
Babaloo, very good.
He was Cuban, right?
He was Cuban. Yeah.
Isn't that a kind of American?
Enemy of the United States.
Not then.
Up until they were the enemy, it was the playground of the rich and famous. But then they became the enemy of the United States. Right. And therefore, even retroactively, all Cubans.
Oh no, I was surrounded by Cubans growing up. Never thought of them as foreigners.
Never. Yeah, there was a lot of where we grew up. There was many nationalities. It was a very big melting pot we were in, but so to speak. But in any event, I digress. It was a great show. She was insanely, ridiculously funny. And I'd say, all due respect to him, and he was funny, and he did play his part very, very well. But the two women on the show, they should. But the two women on the show were, Vivian Vance and Lucy were the show.
Yeah, well, Lucille Ball was just. Yeah. I mean, she's so underrated. It's just she was so good and so prolific for so long, and such a groundbreaker. And yeah, I mean, it's. Yeah, she was pretty fantastic.
There you go. All right. So tied for number 2, I Love Lucy. And it brings us to number 1. The number 1 TV show in the 1950s for this list tonight would be The Honeymooners. Jackie Gleason, The Honeymooners, with the stars Art Carney, Audrey Meadows, and Joyce Randolph. The classic 39 are the ones a lot of people know. There's a lot of good episodes. This was actually born out of the Jackie Gleason show, the variety show. It was a skit, like they did a 10-minute skit in the variety show called it The Honeymooners, and then it became its own show, and that's where you got the classic 39 from. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, one season as standing the test of time and is still viewed today, and still you can find it every day on some channels, and of course every New Year's Eve it's a all-day airing of all of the episodes, but still it was one season, 39 episodes over the course of 1 year. That's it.
In and out.
Yep. But yeah, I watched this show growing up, watched this show since, watch it infrequently during the year, but I will watch a certain amount of episodes, definitely New Year's Eve and New Year's Day here and there, sitting around. But just so well done. Jackie Gleason was a genius, and Audrey Meadows was she was quite same as a lot of other things. The man is the king of his castle. I don't know, the woman even then was. It was very evident. Like the classic 39, where I believe 1955. 56, and quite literally, Audrey Meadows ran the household. It was quite, evident. But Art Carney, Ed Norton, goofy buddy, I mean, anything about it. So, yeah. So certainly my favorite of that. What I Love Lucy and Abbott and Costello right there, neck and neck with all of them. So. Those were my top 3: Honeymooners, Abbott Costello, and I Love Lucy. So
I think those are the only 3, really. That's what we've kind of deducted.
Yeah, well, the other shows, they were hands.
They were setting the table. Yeah,
hands above the others on.
They were the Elvis Gerbacks of their time.
All right, Steve Owens. Actually, that was Steve Owen's time. But during it, well, early on anyway. But they were really good. They were good. All these shows on this list are good, but those three were definitely obviously at the top of the list. So there you go. Number one, The Honeymooners. All right.
I never found it particularly funny.
Uh,
Art Carney was funny, but The Honeymooners, take it or leave it.
Well, you had it at number two.
Because he told you to cut my list.
There you go. All right. There you go.
Wasn't Art Carney in Batman? Didn't he play like the Riddler or the
Art
Joker?
Carney was the Archer.
The Archer, that's right.
The Archer in Batman, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We know how that went.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was also in remember a movie? I think it was like super early, like late 70s, early 80s with it was called Defiance.
He was in The Breakfast Club. He was one of the kids in The Breakfast Club.
He was one of the Breakfast Club, yeah, right. Yeah. No, it was I'm serious, the movie Defiance with Jan Michael Vincent was leading it. Art Carney was in that movie with him. Had a role. So I remember seeing that though. Anyway, all right, that brings us to this week's. Brings us to this week. What would we be without being obscure, right? So brings us to this week's Old Balls. Old Balls. There you go. Harry, tell us who this week's Old Balls is.
This week's Old Balls is none other than Mr. Captain Kangaroo. Not a sitcom, but I think a show that had a pretty profound effect on television for many, 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 many years. Captain Kangaroo was the creation of Mr. Bob Keeshan, who was also Clarabelle the Clown on the Howdy Doody show.
Yeah, Bob Keeshan. Not to be confused with Frank Cashin, the former GM of the Mets.
Well, he was probably the GM of somebody for a while. But but it was a children's television show that aired on weekday mornings on CBS for 29 years, from 1955 to 1984, making it the longest running nationally broadcast children's television program of its day. I think it then moved to PBS for a while, and it's probably no longer on. But I think there's, if you're talking for 55 to 84, it's three generations at least of kids who were part of it. And I always remember it being kind of an interesting show as a kid who definitely was different than everything else, and pretty timeless. I mean, plus that guy had a serious bowl cut and some crazy eyebrows. So he must have been good if. But you had Mr. Green Jeans, you had Mr. Moose and Mr. Bunny Rabbit and the Banana Man, and Bill Cosby, I think, was on the show. Nipsey Russell was on this show. There's a lot of guest stars during it all. But when I think back, I didn't know that this started as far back as the mid 50s. And I just think it was, other than maybe those top three sitcoms that we talked about, and maybe Candid Camera, I think the show had a pretty long lasting effect and impact on our culture. So that's why I have Mr. Captain Kangaroo as this week's Old Kangaroo Balls.
Old Kangaroo Balls. Old Balls. There you go. All right. I was hoping to see Uncle Floyd on Captain Kangaroo. Get the two of them together. I think it would have been comedy gold. I think
they did overlap for a little bit there. Uncle Floyd probably started just before Captain Kangaroo ended. So yeah,
exactly. So
different crowd. One was eating cereal, the other one was eating acid.
A little bit. All right. All right. Got one more non-sports, just a quickie for you. Saw this the other day. A show did it. One of the talk shows did it just as a goof, kind of like we do some of the fun stuff on this fun show. Depending on how much you like it, maybe not so fun, but fun show. So I want to ask you guys to do the same thing, really quick.
What do we have to do?
Pete, we're going to start with you. I'll tell you. We're going to start with you. Pete, I need you to put the 6 Rocky films in order of best to worst. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Rocky Balboa.
There were 6.
6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Rocky Balboa.
Can I get the subtitles?
So you
have Rocky 2.
Rocky 2. You can call Rocky 1 if you want.
Was Mr. T Rocky 2 or Rocky
Mr.
3?
T was Rocky 3. So the original fight was 1. The rematch with Rocky 1 was 2. Mr. T was 3.
What was for Drago?
Drago was 4. Whatchamacallit? 5 was Forgettable.
Is that who?
Yes, the whatchamacallit. You're right.
Tommy Gunn?
Yep. And Rocky Balboa when he comes out of retirement, older, kind of like the George Foreman thing.
Yeah.
That was 6. So that was Rocky Balboa. It wasn't Rocky 6.
Hulk Hogan, one of them.
Hulk Hogan was in 3.
3, okay.
With he was in the beginning of 3 before Clubber Lang or Mr. T came in.
All right, there you go.
So all right. So Pete, start us off.
You want me to list mine?
Your second favorite, all the way to your.
All right. Well, I haven't seen Rocky Balboa.
Okay.
But I did see a lot of people thought
can't be worse than number 5.
Didn't they make a Rocky Balboa 2?
No, they made and we're not including these. They made Creed and Creed 2.
Oh yeah, okay, that's the right.
How about Rocky?
No,
actually, technically in the Rocky franchise, there's 8.
Creed 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Right.
But then you got the arm wrestling one, and then the one where he's in prison.
That's the over the top, and that's the
basically Rocky
Tango and Cash,
too.
It was Lockup was the one he was in prison.
Lockup, yeah.
Right. No, just the Rocky movies,
But I did hear that Rocky Balboa was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
So, look, the first Rocky is the best Rocky,
without a doubt.
Classic story.
I mean, by far,
amazing.
it's
I'm gonna. I mean, Tommy Morrison is the worst one.
Right.
That's just terrible. I don't love Drago. It's got great lines. There's a lot to like about that movie. But that speech at the end that Rocky makes just kind of...
I can change. You can change.
We all can change. I mean,
Cold War bullshit.
2 and 3... I think
one was great. One was great. One was watchable. The rest sucked.
I don't know about that, but
all
right, Pete, finish yours. You got one was your favorite, 5 was your worst. What's the in the middle there?
5 was the worst. I'm gonna go. So Rocky, I'm gonna go 3 in the second slot.
All right,
because beating Clubber, he was just a bigger villain than what's his name? Apollo was. Mm-hmm. Even though Apollo was a dick. Mm-hmm. Clubber was just a terrible guy, and he killed Mickey.
Yep.
So that was a more satisfying victory. The rematch number 2 is in the third slot. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put... I guess... I'm gonna put Rocky Balboa ahead of Tommy Gunn, even though I haven't seen it, because everything is better than.
But is it ahead of 4?
Which one was 4?
The one where he fought Drago, yeah.
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
When he hits,
a lot of great lines.
That was his girlfriend at the time too. What was her name?
Bridget
Jones.
Oh, Gastineau's wife, right?
Gastineau's wife.
Bridget Jones.
Gastineau's. And then she was with
Bridget Fonda, right? Bridget Fonda.
She was Brigitte Nielsen. Yeah. She was with Mark Gastineau. Then she was with Sylvester Stallone. Then she was with Flava Flav.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had a reality show.
Yeah.
I heard Rocky Balboa was pretty good.
Boy.
So I'm going to go Rocky 1, 3, 2, Rocky Balboa, then 4 and 5.
There you go. Harry?
I don't care. Rocky 1. The rest, I don't care. I'm not sure I've seen all of 5, or I definitely haven't seen Rocky Balboa. I'm not even sure I've seen all of 4. But out of the first 3, I like them in order. I like 1, 2. The Mr. T one got a little ridiculous, but was better than I remember bits and pieces of the Drago one. I'm sure the fifth one was horrible, and I'm sure this Rocky Balboa one's way better than maybe a couple of them. So good for him. I'm glad. I kind of like Sylvester Stallone. I honestly think the first Rocky is in maybe the top 50 movies ever made.
I believe it is. I believe you're right. And in Rocky Balboa, we actually see an adult Rocky Jr. In that movie too. And it was played by Milo Ventimiglia.
Okay.
Who's in This Is Us and a bunch of other stuff. So originally he was in Gilmore Girls years ago, but good actor.
I mean, that would be a good one. Rocky fights the Gilmore Girls.
Rocky fights the Gilmore Girls.
Rocky Jr.
It's just a verbal fight. They just destroy him.
The two of them. Squirrels walking on either side of them. Right.
The final count was 7,912 words to 3
in 5 minutes.
Your father was a paper champion. He wasted all his money. He had to go back to working in the meat market. Shut up.
It's funny.
I think the next episode of this podcast should just be Pete reciting Rocky.
Reciting Rocky lines.
Yeah, I'd watch that. Can you guys do that so I could take a week off? I think it'd be our highest.
I think it'd probably be our highest rated show.
I'll take the next week and then I'll read from whatever other
film
you want. But
that's great.
That's to get on with the podcast from now on.
There you go. Pete reciting Rocky lines.
John, what's your list?
Mine, you know what? It's difficult. One is definitely number one. One's definitely number one. I could watch that. I could watch any of these. There's a couple of channels that, if it's like a boring weekend, I'm just sitting around on a Saturday and I pop on the TV and Rocky 1 just came on to this particular TV station. I know damn well 2, 3, and 4 are following it.
Right.
Most of the time, I will tell you, they will show 1, 2, 3, 4, and Rocky Balboa.
They got the Stallone network.
Yeah,
huh?
They won't even show 5. They don't even bother. But I'm gonna go in order. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4. I like aspects of all of them, but I guess nostalgia, has me liking them in that order: 1, 2, 3, and 4. I could move 3 before 2. I could move 4 up a little bit. I remember seeing them all in the theater. I remember a band practice, band rehearsal on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so Thanksgiving Eve, if you will, and leaving band practice and going to see Rocky Balboa. And Harry, who was the drummer in that particular band. You weren't in it, but the drummer that was in that particular band.
Sure.
Kenny.
So I here I'll pull a John. There's 6 Rocky movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 gotta go. 4 stay, 2 gotta go.
4 stay, 2 gotta go. Well, five's gone.
Yeah.
Well, 4 stay, 2 gotta go. It's got the second one for me is going to come down to between 4 and Rocky Balboa, and it's hard. It's hard.
Have you seen both?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
Rocky Balboa is not better than the 4th one.
Rocky Balboa is
as bad as the 4th one.
No, I won't say no.
Not as bad as the 5th one.
None of them are as bad as the 5th one.
Okay.
Sitting watching paint dry is better than the 5th one.
It's a pretty good track record then if you can't pick. I mean, it's like, Robustelli versus Van Pelt.
Exactly. Pete, what 2 you getting rid of?
Well, I mean, I didn't see Rocky Balboa.
So you'll get rid of it.
It's hard for me to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Never stopped
if I had to get rid of, I don't know. I mean, not because it's bad, but it's not as satisfying. I might get rid of 2.
I like 2.
I like 2. I remember leaving the.
That's very Pete of you to get rid of 2.
It's very Pete of you.
Well, I mean, 2 is a more conventional movie, right? He gets his revenge and all that, right? The conflict, isn't that where Adrian's in a coma? Is it that one?
Yeah,
right?
That's the one. That's 2, and they have.
So she comes out, and he's inspired and all that, and it's it's fine, but it's sort of it's a little more typical.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Isn't 4
Goes
kind
to
of
number
typical?
3 where he gets the shit beat out of him.
But he wins in the
Right.
end, doesn't he?
Well, of course he's always going to
well,
win in
he
the
loses
end.
first and then he wins.
Yeah, so that's But
Mm.
but no, I think it would have to get rid of Tommy Gunn and Rocky Balboa just because I didn't see it.
Yeah. Good movie. There's some throwbacks in that, and then even in the two Creeds. Not to bring them into this, but there's a lot of throwbacks. What basically the Creeds, I don't know if either of you saw them or either of them,
Nope.
but they were Apollo had an illegitimate son, all right, and he finds out that he's Apollo's
Played by Willow Smith, or
no, played by Michael. What's his name?
Michael B. Hall, Michael B. Jordan,
Michael Douglas,
Michael. What is it? It's
Michael Onkeen.
Michael Anthony,
played by Michael Anthony. Yes, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael
isn't
B.
he
Jordan.
isn't he a singer?
No, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, it's Michael B. Jordan. But he finds out he's he boxes or whatever. He finds out he's Apollo Creed's son, and he wants to learn how to box. And was it Tony, Apollo Creed's manager that became Rocky's manager? After a while, his son was training him, and then just kind of like didn't even care anymore. So he left, and he went to find Uncle Rocky in Philadelphia, and Uncle Rocky trains him. So there you go.
And then he beats Clubber Lang Jr.
No. He beats the one of the. I believe he beat a UFC guy that wanted to box in the first one, and then in the second one he fights Ivan Drago's son.
Of course.
So the guy who killed his father, his son, he fights.
Yeah,
in the second one. So
I think that falls below Tommy Gunn.
Actually, that's
a little too much.
They were both a little out there. 2 more than the first Creed, but Creed 2 still was better than Rocky 5.
Well, all right.
There you go. Anyway, all right. Well, there you go. That is that. Over under.
Oh yeah, over under. Got a good one. All right, here's the answer right here, written down.
Mm-hmm.
So I have here a set of hex keys.
Very nice.
Nice set. Craftsman.
Now, I will show you the back. This is a 14-piece hex key set.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess there's
However,
14 pieces.
I'm guessing there's 14.
The over-under is 14 and a half. This is basically... It's got
you got more than 14 in there.
There's more than 14 because sometimes you get that one with the furniture that you put together.
You throw them in there.
I think I threw one of those in there, and I think there's probably some that I found that were already in the bottom of the toolbox when I bought this one.
Some Cheerios in there.
So they're
paperclip.
More some Cheerios. Yes, I'm not going to ask you how many hex keys, but how many Cheerios are in here?
6.
So, so the over-under is 18 and a half.
18 and a half.
Give it a little. Take a look at the front.
Mm-hmm.
Side view.
All right.
This does nothing for you.
All right.
You know what? I'll even turn on the...
Oh,
Ooh.
look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. All right, cool.
That certainly helps.
All right.
18 and a half.
I think I saw something move out of that box in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
That is a great room.
You know what? It's going to be different.
I hope so.
There's a reclining chair here, which is...
Ooh, where's that going to go?
Well, that's going downstairs.
Oh, that's in your
Right now, it's a
subscribers
storage unit.
Your subscribers.
No, it needs a cleaning.
Okay.
So
it needs a cleaning, and I know it's a great room because I've been in it.
You've been in it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So the
All right.
over-under is, what is it?
The
18 and a
over-under
half.
is
18 and a
18 and a half.
18 and a half. Harry, you go first.
Really could go either way. I'm going to go over.
I'm going under. I'm going under.
Under.
And
All right,
and if Harry had said he was going under, I was going over.
Yeah, I know. We gotta.
No,
find a
for
wrinkle.
this one, because
We gotta find a
Harry's
wrinkle
absolutely
in
right.
I'm going to say there's 19 in there. 19 pieces of wrenches.
I'm going to say there's 18.
Wow. Well, here's the answer.
And the answer is
16.
Oh.
16.
I was right, but wrong in the number. So.
Yes. Yeah, we got to figure out a wrinkle to the over/under because you guys just always go opposite. Of course, we're not keeping score, so
No, I've lost most of them.
No, you've actually won a few lately. You've won a few lately.
yeah. Yeah, I thought there was more than that. I think I might have actually gotten rid of some.
Mm-hmm. So just 2 extra wrenches in there. 16
extra.
And how many Cheerios?
0 Cheerios.
So there's
0.
just as many wrenches as Rocky movies.
There you go.
What's your favorite hex size, Pete?
It's got to be a quarter. Got to be a quarter.
The big boy.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
3/8
I don't know. How do you tell?
usually says on it.
Well, let's see. We got a 1/2 inch, a 1/16, 5/64.
Half inch is pretty big.
Yeah, that looks
This has
like
got to be. Oh no, it's 0.05.
so. It's 1/2 inch. Yeah. 0.05 is half.
No, 0.5 is half.
0.5 is half.
Oh, 0.05. Oh, that's That's
That's
tiny. That's tiny. That's a 20th.
This little teeny thing.
It's 1/20th.
Yeah. So 1/16, 5/64, 3/32, 7/64, 9/64.
0.05 is a 16th. Essentially.
No.
Let's see. 7/64, an eighth, 9, 5/32, 3/16. A quarter. Maybe it's this must be a quarter, right?
Is that a quarter? Yeah.
Yeah,
There
it's
you
got
go.
to be a quarter.
That's a quarter.
I like the quarter.
There you go.
I don't see too many 1/4 inch hex heads.
No,
Yeah,
I think I've used 4 different ones from this entire set.
Yeah. And
In my
and the one you always need, does not exist within the 16 that are in there.
No.
I got one. It's like it's almost like a Swiss Army knife. It's got all the different sizes in the one. You just
Until you get
flip
to
out
an
the one you
IKEA.
need. Right. Well,
You know,
IKEA
like,
is.
this is
Need millimeters.
This is one from somewhere else. This one's all like shiny.
I actually have 2. I have a standard and I have a metric. I have 2 different hex.
Well, also
Cheers.
because they have the long arm and the short arm.
And the short arm.
That's right.
The long arm of the hex key and the short arm of the hex.
Different. Well, no, they're different lengths.
I usually wind up cutting some of them off so I can stick them in the end of a drill.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
So, but why don't you
You
just
don't
stick
do
the
that.
straight? Why don't you just stick the straight end in the end of a drill?
It doesn't work very well unless you can rotate the entire object.
Just grab the drill and use it as torque.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it really is amazing. I have come to believe that it's on purpose. The number of times that something is put together with some sort of a screw or something that turns, and there's almost no way to really legitimately get to it, or it's a hex key, but you can only turn it this much.
Yeah,
And then you have to take it out and turn it and put it in. Like there's no
That's why
even
the
like
drill.
getting a
That's why the drill.
3/4
works.
of a turn. There's always something sticking out or in the way, and you're like, I can only turn this an eighth of a
Yes.
turn, and then I have to take it out. Poor planning.
right.
Poor planning.
No, just masochists frustrated with their job.
Yeah,
I-
pretty much.
Well, good on them. They fucked
They were
the rest of us
successful.
up. Yeah, they pissed me
They're
off too.
as frustrating as Rocky 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All
I
right.
didn't know there were 6 Rocky movies. I didn't know there was a
6.
new one.
6 Rocky movies. Yeah, well, the new one is from 06. So the
And-
new one
and-
is 16 years old.
And the Creed is
17.
is the
Rocky
son
Balboa was
of
06?
Rocky Balboa is from 06. 6 to 17 years old this year. Yeah.
Wow. Was that before or after Elvis Gerbeck?
It was 6 years after Elvis Gerbeck threw the 504 yards. Yeah. And Creed 2. I think Creed was 2012 and Creed 2 was probably 2015, maybe something like that.
I would have thought they were like 3 or 4 years ago.
Well, 2015 is like 3 or 4 years ago.
8.
8 years ago.
3 or 4. COVID years don't count.
Yeah.
It's that.
Don't count. Didn't happen. But all right.
I learned something new today. I
What's
didn't know there was. I mean, I kind of remember Rocky 4. I didn't ever knew there was a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8.
5 came out. It was like every 3 years or something like that. It was 76 for 1, 79. I know this. It's sad. 79 for Rocky 2, 82 for Rocky 3, 85 for Rocky 4, 1990 for Rocky 5, 06 for Rocky Balboa.
Wow, Melvin. Yeah, I mean, they're right up there with the Godfathers.
Oh yeah. No. Well, 1 and 2 anyway.
The Godfathers are Rocky.
Like the Godfathers.
Godfather 3 is as maybe criticized as it is. It's still better than Rocky 3, 4, 5.
Didn't we go see that on Christmas?
The Godfather?
3. Didn't we go see that on Christmas?
I don't think so.
1 year, I believe I remember seeing that.
Godfather 3 was like 1981, wasn't it?
No, Godfather 3 was like 1988 or 89. We went. I thought it was me, you, and Joe, and
I don't know. You remember things. I don't remember 1988.
Pretty sure we did, but on Christmas Day.
Can't. I don't think it was me.
Nothing says Christmas like a Godfather.
Godfather, right?
Actually, 1990.
90. There you go. 90.
Sofia Coppola.
Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. Did you know Nicolas Cage is a Coppola?
Nicolas Cage is a Coppola, yeah. Nicolas Coppola. Coppola.
His brother was Mark Coppola, was a DJ on, I think, WNEW.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Mark Cage.
No, he went by Coppola.
What was Nicolas Cage's first film?
Rocky 5.
No.
Was it Vampire's Kiss? No, it wasn't his first one, right?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Wait, it's a famous film he made a cameo in.
Yep.
Like
and he was billed as Nicolas Coppola.
Really?
Yeah. Before he changed to Nicolas Cage.
Meatballs or something like that?
You're getting there.
Am I? That wasn't Meatballs.
It wasn't Meatballs. No.
Stripes? No. Something
right around that time. Right around that time.
What am I thinking of?
The Color Purple.
Not the Belushi film, was it? Was it Frat House or whatever it was called?
Animal House.
Animal House.
No,
Animal House? No.
It was not Animal House.
Oh, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Fast Times. My clue was going to be, excuse me, sir, but if I'm here and you're here, isn't it our time?
Yeah, that's right.
Jeff Spicoli.
Yeah. He was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So was Eric Stoltz made a cameo in that. Anthony Edwards made a cameo in that.
They were all in the same scene.
Forrest Whitaker made a cameo in that.
That's right. He was on the football team. Right?
He was on the football. He was Jefferson. He was the one whose car they screwed up.
That's right. Good cast.
Yeah, it was a great cast. And Jennifer Jason Leigh and the funny thing is, all the supporting cast and Judge Reinhold, of course, all the supporting cast went on to great film careers. The leads. Not so much.
Well, who were the leads?
Except for Jennifer Jason Leigh. But no, the Damone.
Is he really the lead? I don't know.
Robert.
They were all kind of an ensemble cast, really. I guess.
Sean Penn was the lead.
Sean Penn was he certainly wasn't probably. I mean, Jennifer Jason Leigh was probably the most focused on character in the.
And Phoebe Cates.
And Phoebe, I guess.
She was still more secondary.
Yeah.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, I still have a crush on her.
There you go.
Yeah, Damone, not so much, but a great character.
Yeah.
No, he had a long career. He just wasn't
Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe
wasn't a leading
Cates.
guy in much.
Yeah.
Judge Reinhold. I don't even know who the what's his name, the one that wanted to take out Jennifer Jason Leigh. I forget what his name was in the movie.
Mike Becker.
Mike. Yeah, Mike. Whatever.
Becker. Brian.
No, it was Mike. You're right. It was Mike. But still to this day, I don't get over. He says, put on if you want to make out with a girl, put on side one of Led Zeppelin 4, and then they're in the car and Cashmere's on, which is not on Led Zeppelin 4.
Well, continuity.
Yeah, exactly.
What do movie makers know about that modern music?
Amy Heckerling, right? Isn't that who directed that? I think she did Clueless too. She's a good director.
Yeah. There was a lot of people that went on to some that went on to be character actors, some that went on to be other things. It was a good movie.
Wasn't Art Carney in Fast Times at
Art Carney was
that was Desi Arnaz, I think.
Right. Art Carney was the teacher, and another one we didn't even mention that show. I think 2 weeks ago when we did the '60s. But my favorite Martian was Mr.
Hand.
Was Mr. Hand? Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Roy
Watson.
Roy Watson.
Welton, something like that.
Roy, I'll tell you right now.
Ray Walston.
Ray Walston.
There you go.
My favorite Martian.
Ray Owens. Owen.
Whenever you're stuck for a name.
Ray Owens. Ray Walston. There you go.
He also coached the Giants in the 50s.
The third president of the United States. Owens?
Yes, the second most wins of any Giant coach. Yeah.
There you go.
From October 3rd to November 16th.
That's right. 1963.
Third most wins in the Giant coach in that period.
Which Jets coach wore the most hats during his tenure as? Not figuratively.
Stu Nahan was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Stu who?
Stu Nahan.
Was he a receiver for the Jets?
No, he was the ring announcer in the Rocky movies.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of sports, did you guys want to hear a little sports thing?
Why not?
We just did 3 hours of it.
Well, I'm just saying we talk about pickleball right? We're ahead of the game on pickleball.
Right.
We've been talking about it for
It's become a big thing now, yeah.
Well, of course, we know it's getting bigger and bigger, and celebrities are getting involved, playing it, and owning teams and leagues.
That's right, LeBron, right?
Right. Well, not only that, but a lot of tennis players too.
Of course,
Kim Clijsters, James Blake, Lindsay Davenport. Well, the Tennis Channel, turns out, is embracing pickleball as well. So now they have broadcast.
There's a tennis channel?
There's a tennis channel, yeah.
Oh.
They have broadcast some pickleball events over the on and off the last couple of years, but they announced, I think last week, that they're going to broadcast the semifinals and finals of a tournament in Mesa, Arizona. This is, I guess, one of the premier level tournaments. And according to Ken Solomon, the CEO of the Tennis Channel, talking to CNBC, he said we've gone from one pickleball event in 2021, a pretty full year of coverage in 2022, and it's going to escalate significantly in 2023.
Can't wait.
We have big plans, end quote. So there you go.
Very nice.
I just
learned
that
there's the Tennis Channel.
There's a tennis channel and a Tennis Channel Plus.
Wow.
So there you go.
Amazing.
I bet there's going to be a lot of pickleball on that Plus.
I got a question
on the TP.
Any question? Well, first of all, did we ever talk about this? Did we ever talk about when pickleball was invented?
I'm sure we have.
And how pickleball got its name?
We did.
Yeah.
But I forget what it's something to do with the paddle.
It was maybe. It was invented in 1965. So it's 50.
As old as me.
Right.
7.
57 years old. Going to be 58 years old. And which we call how pickleball got its name. In the summer of 65, pickleball was founded by Joel Pritchard, Bill Bell, and Barney McCallum on Bainbridge Island, Washington.
I thought they were in Cool in the Gang.
They were actually at a point. Within days, Joan Pritchard had come up with the name pickleball, a reference to a thrown together leftover non-starters in the pickle boat of crew races. That's how it got its name.
What?
Interesting.
The name pickleball is a reference to thrown together leftover non-starters in the pickle boat of crew races. In other words, non-starters in crew, rowing, right?
Yeah.
Non-starters,
people who weren't in the
leftover
in the
non-starters that were not in the
People.
main boat. People,
Okay.
right?
They were called pickleballers.
They got together in the pickle boat.
Pickle boat.
That was what the non-starters boat.
So these are the leftovers from tennis that are now playing pickleball.
Pickleball, right? There you go.
Okay.
Here's one little interesting stat for the Tennis Channel audience. Pickleball's fast-paced action, they believe, will help attract new fans. During a major, an MLP, Major League Pickleball, I guess, professional match, the ball is in action about 40% of the time, compared to professional tennis matches, where the ball is in action only 16% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So there you go. If you're watching pickleball, you're getting your money's worth.
You get your money's worth as opposed to tennis, yeah?
Because the ball is always moving.
Now, is that in reference to pickleball players are better than tennis players?
Oh, I don't know. You got to have quick reflexes, though. I was watching it the other day.
It's a shorter court, right? I mean, it's coming at you quicker.
The ball just as hard.
Yeah.
So,
crazy.
Anyway, that's it for the pickleball report. We'll keep you updated.
And this pickleball report was brought to you by
Vlasic.
Baby Hands Johnson.
Baby Hands Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they need to bring back Maria Sharapova, or Anna Kournikova, make them pickleballers.
There you go. Maria Sharapova and Anna Kournikova.
By the way, Odell Beckham Jr. is joining one of the ownership groups of one of the.
Why not? He's got nothing else to do.
Yeah, why not?
Who's
LeBron competing owners?
Well, LeBron's got things to do.
Right.
Well, yeah, but he's still an owner.
Do you think Carmelo Anthony will ever retire?
To pickleball?
He'd be probably a good pickleballer.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't played for, he's
a while.
Yeah. What's going on?
I think he's thinking about a comeback.
Well, I think
Don't call it a comeback.
Is anybody else thinking about it?
Probably not.
Yeah, it's not completely up to him.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't imagine that there's no room on any NBA team for Carmelo Anthony.
You would think there would be.
I don't know. I think he'd be a great second stringer on the Nuggets this year. Bring him back, let him finish where he started.
See that?
These are the things I wonder about. Whatever happened to Carmelo Anthony? And will he play pickleball? Is that it?
I think that's it. I think we're good. You good? You good there, Pete?
Yeah, I got other stuff, but
like what? What do you got? What do you got?
Well, Michaela Schifrin. You might not know the name. She's a skier.
Okay, I do know her. Yeah, Michaela Schifrin.
Well, this is I think this happened last week or week and a half ago. One of the for the skiers, it's not. I mean, the Olympics is still big, but it's all about the various world titles,
the World Cups,
and, Well, Michaela Schifrin won some skiing cup title and passed Lindsey Vonn for the record.
Really?
For her?
Yeah. And she's like, I think she's 27 or 28 years old.
That's good for her.
Likely, barring, any whatever, I'm not even going to say it, that she will not only, she has surpassed, but she will widen that gap.
Right.
So by that measure, she's the greatest skier ever. American skier, I guess. Female skier. So that's pretty exciting.
She's a Vail girl. She's from Vail,
Yeah.
Colorado.
So we got that. Also, the CW television network, channel
That's
11.
still around?
Still
CW.
around. They have, I believe, made at least preliminary, if not finalized, agreements to broadcast. You know, the Live Golf Tour, the Saudi Golf Tour.
Yep.
And a bunch of players defected, and the PGA said, "Well, you can't play in the majors here." And then there were lawsuits, and I think it's still up in the air or whatever. Well, the Live Golf Tour is going to be broadcast, at least in part, by the CW network.
Interesting.
And a lot of people are up in arms about that because, of course, it's run by the Saudis, and MBS, who is, proposes or tries to pass himself off as a reformer and liberal and leading a new, Arab state and all that. But he's really just another misogynistic dictator.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are upset, obviously, that the players would go there in the first place. Well, the CW doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
They
Apparently
need money.
not.
So they're gonna show the Live Golf Tour from Saudi Arabia.
There you go.
CW still have the Frog? Is that the CW?
No, it was a WB.
Yeah.
WB.
That was the WB.
Okay.
That was Channel 9, right?
No, it's Channel
It's
11.
WOR. Yeah.
Was it?
No,
Channel-
WOR. Channel 11 was WB and CW.
Yeah. Channel 11 was
okay.
WPIX.
Well, no, it was PIX first, then it was a WB, and then it was
know.
CW. So.
That's
WPIX.
all right. CW network carrying golf.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Carrying the Saudi League, yeah.
There you
Which
go.
is, I guess, a bigger money league because
Didn't
have more money
they
than
get some big names to jump over to that?
You did
Yeah.
get some, yeah.
I think McElroy went over there, I think,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
didn't Mickelson go and say he was going to play there?
They're going to dominate the pickleball league sometime soon as well, man.
Yeah, it's going to be the Live Pickleball League.
Live
Saudi,
Pickleball League.
Saudi pickleball.
Play on diamond encrusted courts.
That's right.
There you go. All right. What do you think?
I'll do it.
All right. On that note, we will wrap the show up for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Bye, everybody.